What is going on, everyone? Mega here with a new game design tutorial, and in this video, we're going to be continuing where we left off in the previous video, where we're going to be working with some. We're going to be basically making some, making the scene we were working on look, make it make the actual like objects in it like look wet. And as an example, this is a render that I quickly did in the scene using this method I'm going to show you, and this is how the render came out. And yeah, as you can see, it looks pretty wet. This is actually like a bit of a toned down version of what I originally had, but but it still looks pretty good. So basically, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be doing the same process that I did here, except we're not going to do it as puddles, because we're going to apply this to the actual grass, and with how this grass is, we actually won't really need to see puddles in it because of how like dense this grass is. We're not really gonna be able to see a lot of puddles in it. So we're not gonna be doing the puddles. It's a very simple process to do this. In fact, before I continue, I'm just gonna quickly save this because I'm gonna need this image later. So let me just save this on the. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Let's see, right there. Okay. All right, and so this is the scene we're working with, and so to create what I created here, we're actually going to be creating using a custom node that I downloaded. It's the node is called wet node, as you can expect, and so this is what it basically looks like. This is it right here, and so it comes with a few settings, and actually let me zoom in a bit so you can see it more. There we go. So yeah, this is it right here. No, actually, I don't need to do that. Let me just put it back then. Let me just bring it back. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, so basically, it comes with a few settings, and so what it has is that you have your base color, and then you have an option for darkening, which basically just makes it like the actual color of the wet surface, like if you want it more darker, or if you want it to be lighter, then you change that, and then this like makes it more dry or more wet, and then you also have a mix shader which you can use to mix. It also comes with a puddle node, which I like to just put that in mix, because that works pretty well. And so, and if you mess with this, you can change how many puddles that are on the actual surface, and with size you can change the actual size of the puddles. And so I like to mess around with this. But as I said, for this scene, we're actually not going to be using the puddle node. We're just going to be using the wet node for this, because we're not going to need it. And I'm just going to quickly switch to look dev to make this easier for me to edit in, and just give it some time. It's not that. Yeah, there we go. The reason I switched to look dev is so I can see what I'm doing without having to wait for it to render. Okay, So the first thing we're gonna do is that we're just gonna click on the grass, and also just a heads up, this scene, how this scene is set up, it required me to bump up the samples on it to 1,000. Now that may be different for you. If you're using Blender 2.9, then you would have access to NVIDIA's denoiser, assuming that you have a NVIDIA graphics card. But but you're you may not have to worry about the 1,000 samples. It's just that for me, since I haven't upgraded to 2.9 yet, I have to use the do 1,000 samples, because the default Blender denoiser is other shit in this scene. Normally it's for me it works well, but for this particular scene it just did not do good. So I had to bump up the samples. Okay. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna move this over here, and I'm just gonna move this over so I can have more space. And so what we're gonna do is that first off, as I said, this is a custom custom node. And actually, really quickly, let me pull something up, because I'm still new at using this node. So I'm just gonna pull up the reference that I had on it. That way I don't have to switch back and forth. So let's just wait for this to load. Okay, there we go. All right, so in our scene, now just remember that this is a custom node. So in order to make this show up, you're actually gonna have to download the Blender file, which is in the description, and then you're gonna have to open up your scene, and then you're gonna have to go to File, Append, and then once you click Append, you just you'll see a folder. In fact, I'll just open it up. You'll see when you open up your project, you'll see an area right here called no, actually what you're gonna do is that you're gonna go to, once you download the project, you're gonna scroll down until you see the wet node blend file, and then once you open that up, you'll see the full directory of the project, and then you'll see an area that says node tree. You're gonna double click on that, and then you'll see the nodes, and so you're just gonna select everything and just append it, and that's how you add it to your project. So we're gonna add it in. So the one we're gonna add is wet node, and we're not gonna directly connect it. Actually, what we're gonna do to make this work is that we're gonna take this this BDSSM, and we're gonna attach it to the base color. No, wait, actually, it's not going to take it into the shader. And then, because we're working with a different scene than I was working with before. So, okay, and the base color. Hang on really quickly. Yeah, let me just try something. No, that doesn't do it. Oh, I know what I have to do. Okay. So base color, we're gonna select that. Actually, I'm gonna have to like manually do it. So 0.993, 0.93. 393. Oh, it's... No, damn it. That's not what I wanted. So 0.396. 396. Why is it doing that? Okay, there we go. Hang on, really quickly, I'm gonna have to just quickly take a little picture of these values, because it is not letting me do this. Okay. Okay, so 0.396. Then this, bring it up all the way to 1. .263. And 1. Okay. There we go. And that makes it wet. And that's all we have to do. Because this node doesn't have anything else that we need to work with. So I'm just gonna put this in shader. And there we go. And so this already makes it look wet. So let's switch to rendered view so we can see how this actually looks. Because I'm not gonna render this, because this is gonna, as I said, this has a lot of samples to work with, so it will take a long time to render. And but now, as you can see, it looks very bright. So what we're going to do is that we're actually going to set this to the same values that I have for this one. So let's switch to that one. And so it's the values that I set for darkening. I set it to 0.550, and then for the wet, I set it to 0.9. So 0.550, and then the wet is 0.9. And there we go. That makes it a bit better. Still a bit bright, but it should be good to go. And you know what? I will actually render this. That way we can see the final product. Now this will take a bit of time to render, but I believe my computer can handle it. So let's go ahead and render this. And I will be speeding this up because this will take a long time to render. And so here we go. So I will be back once it's done rendering. Okay, and we're back, and it is done rendering, and as you can see, it looks very bright. I'm actually not going to be using this because of how bright it is. We'll probably just like I'll probably just add it onto the rollback here, but and that's about it. But because I really don't think with it how it's looking, I really don't think I need it on the grass. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove that. Then put this back on the surface. Yeah, because I don't really think I need it on the grass. But we will go ahead and let me switch to the dev so I can move around. We will go ahead and put it on this road here, which does have an image texture, so we could do the other method, which I did pull up my notes for. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to move this over, and we're going to add the wet node. Wait a minute. Before we then do that, let me just add in a principled, because I will need this. That way it looks more realistic. And then we're going to add in the wet node. And so what we're going to do, let's move this down here. We're going to go to the image texture. We're going to click on the color, put that into base color, and then the normal we don't need the normal because we're not using any normals. Okay, and and we're gonna place the principal. We're gonna remove the principal from here, and then we're gonna move this into shader, and then move this into surface. Now it doesn't really do a lot because I can't really see a lot. Let's make it brighter. I want to make it completely wet. And I can't really see a lot. So let me switch to rendered view so I can see you better. And it's not really giving me a lot because I don't have a lot to work with. But yeah, that's basically what you would do, is that you would basically just add this to base color, and then your normal map you would put it through. Once you add in like an image texture with a normal map and everything, you would put it you would put the normal, let's say like the normal map was over here, you would put it into normal, and then also move it into normal here, and then this would click here, and then it would go right there. Yeah, and that's basically the process you would do. And if you wanted to add in a puddle, you would put puddle right here, and then you would put that into mix. But I'm not gonna do that. You know what? Actually, I will do that because this road will actually need it because of how it looks. So yeah, puddles. We're gonna add in a puddle, and we will put that into mix. And it is still not giving me a lot to work with. There we go. Now you're starting to see. Not really giving me a lot to work with, but yeah, that's the basic process. You would do it. Yeah, I'm actually not gonna add anything to it, but yeah, that's the basic process you would do. So yeah, that is how you make a surface look wet in Blender. It's a very simple process. It's you simply just add the node tree, and then you just mess with your settings. Oh, what happened there? I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I have no idea what happened there. Oh yeah, I must have like just unchecked, clicked the wrong thing. Okay. But yeah, so that's the basic process you would do. So yeah, this has been Mega, and I will see you again next time.